Hello, welcome, or perhaps welcome back. It's been a while. My name is Bymichelleknappmann. I am behind here, Bymichelleknappmann. I am your knitting friend with chronic pain. Today is a knit and chat. I am currently on vacation. I am in Belgium to watch the World Championships in paracycling, which has a lot to do with what has happened in since my last video, um, and that is because I've actually started paracycling myself. I've started hand cycling on what's called a Neela bike. I can try and insert a picture perhaps, but I have been starting to doing that. I started last year actually, but in February I went to Lanzarote to bike with Danish Hand Bike Club, and I fell a bit more in love with it, figured out that I could ride a different kind of bike than what I was riding before, and I got in contact with the national team as well. So a lot has happened, and I'm just training a lot, trying to see if there's somewhere I can go with the national team, which is also kind of why I'm in Belgium now. We are on holiday, but we went here to see the World Championships, to see, well, both those of the Danish team, because we want to cheer for them, but also I want to meet some others who are in the same class as me, because I'm the only one in Denmark currently in my class of hand biking. I'm what's called an H5, which is the best in terms of your handicap. I can, for example, I can walk, but I use a wheelchair most of the time. But the rest, if you go to H4 or H3 and then down, it depends on where your damage, your handicap sits. So H1 is pretty often people who've broken their back or neck really high up and has a problem with their hands. H2 is a bit further down. It's often people who have had something that makes them have they are what's it called? They can't move their legs at all often in the lower classes, whereas the higher classes can do a bit more. Some of the others I know are amputees in the H5. So there's a different. I'm in the H5, and there's no other in Denmark currently but me. So I'm hoping to meet some other people as well. And yeah, we're just on vacation. We're just having fun, watching out. I've been to a few yarn stores. First one was because I ran out of yarn for this one, which by the way is a sweater for or cardigan for my partner. It's basically gonna be a jacket. It's fritidsgarn on size 3 needles, 3mm needles, so it's real thick. It's gonna be really good. Yeah, and I did find some hand-dyed yarn in Antwerpen, which was really cool. But yeah, I just wanted to sit down, do a short video about, well, everything and nothing, and knit and chat. I have not been knitting as much as I wanted throughout the last half year or so, mainly because, well, the training for all of this hand cycling has been taking a lot from me, but after my last race I went to Sweden to 2 races, and in my first race I had a crash, and I don't know, it sort of made me realise that I had to take a bit more slow with my arms. I wanted to just ease a bit. And my arms really hurt, and I wanted to do something, so I knitted a bit again. It's not like I haven't been knitting at all, I just been really slow. And I think I had too many projects on the go for my head to really wrap around it, because cycling makes me tired. Fair, I expect that. but doesn't give me chronic pain, or doesn't. It actually helps my pain a bit, which I really like. So that's why I do it. It really helps my pain, as well as knitting actually does help me. So that's why I've been trying to do it as much as possible. And honestly, it's just been nice getting back into it as well. I have been prioritizing it a bit more over the summer, and I actually really wanted to get back into doing some of these podcasts again and just videos, but I just didn't know where to start because I've just been tired. I think it's, I don't know if it's not because it's too much planning like that. I just, had to figure out all of my projects again and everything, and that's why I'm doing this instead. That's why I'm just doing a little chatty video instead, I thought, because this way I could still do it, because I really love it. I really love sharing what I do and having the community. Both here, I also will return to TikTok again, where I have a lovely community, and I thought, okay, I don't have to do it all, but perhaps I could change it a bit up. So perhaps the future videos are going to be a bit more knit and chat or something. I don't know, perhaps we can just talk about whatever I'm doing, or talk about, I don't know, like the specific topic or something. I would love that, because I do love sharing, and I of course have some of my own patterns that I would love to share and everything. I'm sure I would love to do that, but that's going to be, I think I'm going to change it up a little bit so that it's going to fit more to my energy levels and what I'm doing at the moment, and be a little less long videos and everything. Yeah, something like that. I'm thinking of when I'm getting home from this trip that I'm gonna do a little what I bought yarn thing. It's not gonna be long, but I think that could be kind of cool, especially as I didn't go to a fiber folk this year, which I did last year, and it was so much fun. I went with a friend and I bought so much yarn. I still haven't used it all, but there were so many pretty hand dyers and everything. So I had a bit of FOMO. But yeah, I saw a lot of people have put up what they bought and everything, and I love it, and I'm so happy for that. And I'm sure I get the opportunity to go to another yarn festival, or yeah, just go around and see what people have instead. I have been buying hand-dyed yarn down here, so I haven't been left completely out. Yeah, and I'm gonna look for, I know there should be a few yarn stores in the city that the World Championship is actually in, so I think I'm gonna go hunting a bit for that with my partner. And otherwise we are gonna spend the holiday chilling, biking, talking to the others, and yeah, just watching the World Championships and having fun. It's a vacation after all. But yeah, I have been bringing my knitting for my holiday. I love knitting in the car. We drive on holiday, and yeah, so I've been really unlucky about that actually. Let's have a little chat about my holiday. I've been really unlucky about that because I started knitting on this one, and that was completely nice, really cool. Realised halfway through the bottom chart here that I was running out of white or beigey yarn. I think it's marzipan actually. I have two different colours I think it ended up with, but it doesn't matter. I realised I was running out of yarn and I didn't have any more. And we were already in the Netherlands by that. So I couldn't go to at home where I bought it and everything. Sorry, I got cut off. I was talking about my yarn. I couldn't go back to buy. I couldn't continue. I couldn't continue on this as I didn't have enough yarn. So I put it on hold and decided, hey, if we meet a yarn store, if I can look up yarn stores where we're going, and I can see if any of them have sandnes as I'm using for this, and I might be lucky that they have a colour that at least look like this does look like. I'm realising now that it is actually a bit more beigey than the one I did have, but honestly that doesn't matter, it's so little. But yeah, so I put that on hold, and then I've been wanting to do the same pattern but as a sweater and with bigger needles for myself. I bought yarn this March, I think, in Norway when I went up to visit my cousin there, and I thought, well, this is the perfect time to start it. So I did that in the car, and I started off by winding a lot of yarn in the car by hand, which I cannot recommend. That's chaos. And started on that and got almost done with the yoke when I realised I ran out of white for that as well. So now my sweet cousin is bringing me some from Norway next time she's in Denmark, which I think might be now. But she went and bought me some where I bought the yarn that I have, and yeah. So when I get home at some point, I can continue on it. Perfect. So yeah, I did forget the last sweater project I had at home ready to go on the trip, which by the way was the needles that I was supposed to use for my own sweater, but because I forgot that sweater, I thought I could start on my own, realising I don't have the right size needles. So that was not the best either, but I decided on my own sweater, I decided to go up needle size and go down a size in the pattern, and so far I think it's been going fine. So yeah, that's that's been a bit of a roller coaster. Otherwise, I do have a stockinette project with me. I've been knitting on a dress on size 3mm needles since last year. Started on it, I don't know if I started in the summer last year, but I've been doing it for quite a while, and it's just a relaxing, nice back and forth stockinette project, but it's not going as fast as the sweaters, so I do prefer knitting on the sweaters at the moment, I can feel. But yeah, when I'm done with this soon, I think I might take that for I'm gonna take the dress for the car rides, I think, for the rest of the trip. But yeah, it's kind of fun. So it's been a bit chaotic on that part, but I did find the yarn for this one. I have made sure I'm getting the yarn for my own sweater. The last sweater that I'm knitting is at home, I'm pretty sure. It might be outside, but and undercover at least, and in a bag, but yeah. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna get it when I get home. So yeah. But I'm trying to like ease my projects down to just not too many, so that I can restart as many as I like, because I do like having lots of projects, but I think it's been too long ago since I started on on half of them, so that I was completely off. I also finished a test knit. I did participate in a test knit over the summer, but with the remarks that I am trying to cycle on an elite level, and I have a chronic condition that makes me really tired sometimes. So, and that was totally fine. I just finished it on holiday actually, so that was like the first thing I finished, and that was like the first night or something like that. I finished that, so that was quick, and it's a long sleeve, so it's not even. I'm not gonna use it until I get home, I think, because right now here we're in the south of Belgium, and it's like between 25 and 30 degrees and high sun, so I am not wearing a long sleeved sweater, even though it is cotton. So yeah, I am living in tops and shorts, or perhaps a skirt, depending. Yeah, but so I'm thinking, I'm thinking, as I said, of doing a what did I buy on vacation, on holiday, type of video when I get back home, because there is a chance I might buy some more, because one of the things I absolutely love, is souvenir yarns, so to say. Yarns that I buy on holiday, yarns that I have from different places. It doesn't have to be, I love hand dyed for that fact, because I'm especially locally hand dyed, at least from the country that I'm visiting. But otherwise, just the fact that I bought some yarn while on vacation, I can say I bought yarn for this sweater here, I bought yarn for this top here, and stuff like that. I don't necessarily always have a plan. Sometimes I just have an idea that I want perhaps the contrast colour, or I realise, oh, I could really do a sweater like this. I do a lot of freestyle and things that I plan on in the end doing, like patterns for and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily know what I want to do, but when I buy hand dyed yarn that I know I can't just buy again, or just, you know, I'm pretty sure I can always order it, but it's not like it's something that we have at home or everywhere. I prefer to know that I at least have enough for example, I bought for a top. Okay, I have enough. I have enough. I'd rather have a bit too much than a bit too little, because I can always use the leftovers for some fun thing. But I would prefer not to have too little, and at least just for a stockinette top. But I do prefer having enough so that I could perhaps throw in a little cable or something here and there. I do love a cable, and I do love that, to have enough so that I don't need to spare anywhere. I've realised actually, since becoming a wheelchair user, that crop tops are really good, because the fact when you sit down, you know, sometimes long shirt bulge a bit funny. Yeah, that's what I realised. So I'm also in the works of thinking I need a lot of new sweaters for my for just me in my wheelchair, because I do have quite a few that I actually can't really use anymore. I do love a white sleeve, but if they have to have white sleeves, the sleeves need to be a bit too short actually, because otherwise they're gonna touch my wheel all the time and they're gonna be really red. If it's like wet outside, I'm just gonna be soaked. And the same with them not being too long. So I'm actually gonna do like cropped sweaters. I think a few, and then otherwise just making sure perhaps that the sleeves are a bit more fitted, at least at the cuffs. Is my future plan. I think that's what. So I might have a few sweaters that's gonna, I don't know, perhaps I'm gonna sell them, or see if someone in my family would love them. But there are a few that I'm gonna have to wait with, because I do wanna do patterns on a few of them that I have. So they're gonna wait until I have made at least another version, so that I can keep, or something like that. But yeah, I don't think I have much more. If you have any questions, any future topics you would like me to chat about, give me a comment. And otherwise, you can, as always, find me on Instagram and TikTok. I would say TikTok is where I am currently most active. I haven't really returned that much to Instagram, if at all, because I don't know, I find TikTok have caught me a bit more at the moment, but I'm gonna see if I can, perhaps I can just cross post or something. Otherwise, go to TikTok. I would, if you ever write a question for me on Instagram, of course I will try and see it and answer. It's not like I'm not there. I'm just not really posting. And yeah, otherwise, I really hope you want to follow along still, and let me know if you have any suggestions, if for topics, if you would like this to be sort of like new. I still got to talk about my projects that I'm doing, but just not as, I don't think as like strictly I think it's going to be a lot more chatty, and a bit about life as well, but I'm still going to see if I can like separate it a bit, so we have like a nitty topic, and then if there's any like news in life I can share them at the end. This is a completely what has happened, why have I been away video, and we'll see if I can be returned for a bit more regular. I really like it, and I do love having different things to do, not just one thing. I just been needing to have a routine and realising, yeah, a few things about it. So yeah, let me know, and otherwise I will hope to see you next time. So stay safe. Bye.